So as a dementia family caregiver, we might notice as the disease progresses that the person that we support starts to behave differently at certain times of the day. Specifically, it's not unusual for people to become agitated as the day is closing. So sundowning or sundown syndrome, as it's called, is not a disease itself. It is a symptom of dementia as the dementia progresses. One of the things that's important for us as dementia family caregivers is to notice changes in behavior and track those. So I often recommend that people have a journal and that they write down things that they're seeing different, changes that they're noticing for two reasons. One is so that they themselves can start seeing a pattern like, wow, I'm noticing that pretty much every time after we've gone out to eat and then we come back home, mom is really agitated. Or I've noticed that not every afternoon, but specifically on the afternoons when we have gone out for a walk and then we've come back as the sun is starting to set, mom gets really agitated. So we're trying to look at what happened just before the agitation. Because if we look at what happened before the agitation, we might be able to preempt and prevent the agitation from happening. The other reason that I want to keep a journal is because I want to be able to share that with our care provider. I want to be able to talk to our doctor and say, this is what I'm seeing. Is this something that you can help me with? So with sundowning, for instance, it may be that there are medications that can help. Certainly, we always want to try behavioral, non-pharmaceutical interventions before we try prescriptions or other medications. But by sharing with our doctor the details of what we're seeing, the doctor can help us both come up with non-pharmaceutical and potentially pharmaceutical solutions. So how do I, as a dementia family caregiver, support a person who's experiencing sundowning, especially if I want to avoid medications? Well, if I know the time of day that the person typically experiences sundowning, which might look like pacing, it might look like agitation or anger, it could even involve hallucinations. What I want to do is engage in an activity just before the sundowning typically happens. So if sundowning usually happens, well, when the sun is going down, what I might want to do is half an hour before then, engage in an activity that I know that the person that I support likes to do. Maybe that's the time that we start cooking dinner together. Maybe that's the time that we sit down and do a puzzle together. I want them to be engaged during the time that they would otherwise have sundowning so that their brain stays focused on that activity rather than getting pulled into the sundowning behaviors. If the person is experiencing sundowning behaviors, what I want to avoid doing is getting short and angry with them because they are behaving in a way that is really difficult for me to manage. I need to really accept the fact that it's not them, it is the disease, and that they're doing the best they can. And so therefore, I want to make sure that they know that they're safe. I want to make sure that they know that they're loved. I want to make sure that they know that I hear them, that I see what's going on, and that I don't like it for them because I know it feels bad for them. Maybe I breathe with them. Maybe I use my words and say, you are so safe here with me. I love you so much. Let me give you a hug right now because I know that this is hard for you. Don't be hesitant to ask what's going on. What are you feeling right now? What are you thinking? Is there something that you would like to be doing? How can I best support you? They might have ideas to share. So what are the technologies that you could use to support a person who is experiencing sundowning? Some people find it helpful to put on music, and you want to be sure that you're putting on music that the person likes and that they won't find irritating. Some people find it helpful to use a visual distraction. So that could be something like Zinnia TV, where before the person becomes affected by their sundowning, we could sit down and watch videos about topics that we know that they love. Or when they are starting to get agitated, I could, for instance, if I know that my mom's crazy about babies, I could say, Mom, look at this. And I have Zinnia TV playing on the TV with the babies video. Mom, check this out. The babies are so cute. And then I bring her over and we sit down together and I allow her to be physically distracted, visually distracted by the babies so that it helps her to calm down. Often what we can see is that by the time that video is over, the sundowning episode has passed. So it's getting to be close to sundown. I had meant to involve my mom in a baking project with me so that we could hopefully preempt and have her not start sundowning, but I got busy. And so now I come into the living room and my mom is in a state of anxiety. She's frustrated. She's pacing. Maybe she's yelling. The first thing that I want to do is make sure that she's safe. So I want to, if she's pacing, make sure that there's nothing that she's tripping over, make sure that there are not throw rugs around that are going to cause her to catch her feet. I want to assure her that I am here for her. I don't want to start yelling at her and telling her to stop. I don't want to make her feel bad, to add shame on top of what she's already feeling. Oftentimes the person with dementia is not able to stop the behavior that they are engaged in. If they could stop it, they would. But their body has taken over. They're in this state of high anxiety. And me adding to that by yelling at the person isn't going to do either of us any good. So once they are in that state, I need to stay calm. What we know is that the caregiver's anxiety fuels the anxiety of the person with dementia. So the best thing that I can do in the moment when the person who I love is having a sundowning episode is pause, take a deep breath, remind myself that they're not doing this to be difficult. Take another deep breath, reach out for their hands, invite them to breathe with me, and just remind them that I'm here for them. I love you. I'm so sorry. I hate this for you. I can see that you're really upset right now. I don't blame you. If I know that there is something in particular that they are angry about, so for instance, it's starting to be sundown and mom, who's usually pretty easygoing, is suddenly riled up because she put her book on this chair and the book is gone. Now, I know that the book was not left on the chair. But mom's reality right now is that the book was on the chair and now the book is gone and mom is angry. The last thing I want to do is say, you didn't put the book on the chair. If you'd put the book on the chair, it would still be there. Instead, what I do is I accept her reality. Her reality is that there was a book on the chair. Now she's in a state of sundowning and she's mad because the book is on the chair. So what I do is I reflect and validate. And reflect is, you are so angry because that book was on the chair and now the book's not there. The validation is, I can tell that you're really upset by that. And you know what? I don't blame you. I'd be mad if my book was missing. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to help you find that book. Come on. I'm going to fix this. Oftentimes the person with dementia doesn't need to know how you're going to fix the problem. They just need to know that you are going to help them solve the problem. And that would then be my opportunity to say, you know what? Maybe it's in the kitchen. Let's go look in the kitchen. Oh, I'm so mad for you. We go into the kitchen, and while we're in the kitchen, I can say, oh, you know what? I made some fresh lemonade. How about if we each have a glass of lemonade? And my hope is that I would then be able to distract the person from the thing that was causing all of that agitation as a result of the sundowning. It is really hard to support a person who has sundowning, especially if they have that experience on a daily or an almost daily basis. It's so important for you to take care of yourself. Take a deep breath when they're starting to have a sundowning episode. Remind yourself that they're not doing this in any kind of willful way, that it is the dementia that's causing this to happen. And know that there's nothing that you could be doing better than you're doing right now. You've got this. And by allowing yourself to get wrapped up in the anxiety and the emotion of sundowning is not going to do either of you any favors. So do your best to stay calm and take care of you.
you.